LeeLee to you. Today, let's talk about and tap into your talents. How aware are you of your talents? Join me today and learn about 4 actionable tips to tap. Yes, I'm glad you're here today. First off, what is a talent? Talking about talents today, what is a talent? A talent is a strong or natural characteristic that you have that you can apply to be more constructive or more productive with. Your talents, if you're not aware, are likely closer to you than you might realize. What I've come to realize for myself, that after finding my greatest talent, is that you are often way too close to what it is, to your own genius inside of you, and it makes it hard, or can make it very hard, to find that one thing that you are really passionate about. We can be so close to it that we might just be overlooking it, almost to the point where it can almost be comical that something is so much a part of us that we overlook it because we think it couldn't be that simple. But it probably is. And I want you to know that, first of all, if you're not sure completely what that is, what your talent or talents are, or what they might be, please don't worry, don't fret, and welcome aboard, really. Welcome to the crowd, because it is completely understandable that you might feel lost in the shuffle of things, especially given the amount of information and distractions, squirrel, that are begging for our attention in today's world. It can also be complicated or even questionable to figure out what you're really good at. And I get that, especially when those around us, they might seem to know exactly what they're doing with their lives, and we can tend to judge or compare and feel like we're behind. And I just hope that you don't feel that way. And let's talk about it here. If you are not 100% sure of what your greatest talents are, you can begin here, working to identify your talents and start using them now with the following 4 simple tips that can get you started, and they can be really fun as well. So there are surely more tips than this, but I'm hoping that some of these might help you get a good start, and reach out if you want to hear some more, all right? So the first tip is ask those close to you about your strengths and your weaknesses. It is common to have some blinders up when it comes to pinpointing our strengths, right? Or even our weaknesses, especially. Well, that seems to be more easy to find, of course, but let's look at that a little deeper. That is why it's worth it to ask those who know you best to see you maybe in a clearer light, because we tend to judge ourselves a little differently, a little more harsher, and not see the beautiful brightness that is in us all. So ask those people, ask them what they think about you, what you're good at, how they would describe your strengths and your weaknesses. This, I believe, can be very telling. It certainly was for me when I took this very action, and I was a little surprised that most of my close friends and family, they found the same common thread of things, the same qualities that stood out in me. So go ask your parents. They might even remember things you loved to do as a kid, and maybe you've forgotten. Ask a friend. Maybe they'll be able to recall a hobby that you had talked about starting but never did. It will likely even be fun. I imagine it will be very fun, and you may even learn something new that you didn't realize about yourself. So, sounds good to me, right? Okay, tip number 2. Look for things that other people do or create that inspire you. So, pay attention to the things you see others doing, the other things that you see others doing that gets you excited or impresses you or inspires you. This can help you tap into the things that you enjoy, and possibly help you realize things you are good at or can be good at. For instance, maybe you see a photo that makes your heart sing. That happens to me all the time, and I love photography, so there's a link. So it maybe makes your heart sing or takes your breath away and maybe makes you wish you had captured it yourself. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to what it is that made you feel that way. It is just simply, maybe it's simply that you like the work or you are interested in creating things like that. Also, maybe you feel a little bit jealous, possibly, and you wish you had created that. First of all, with those kinds of feelings and emotions, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about this because everyone does it. Everyone has those feelings, but maybe try to, instead of comparing and wishing you were them, decide instead to learn from their work and what they do, and hone your craft from the inspiration that you can get from them. But remember the things that light you up inside and follow those. Be interested in those and dive a little deeper to see if that is a path that you want to focus on more. Okay? A third tip is remember what people thank you for. This is interesting to me. Paying attention to what people value in the things that we do and the value we provide to their lives or others' lives can be quite revealing. It's a great indicator for us to find our hidden talents that we may be unaware of that we have. So again here, pay attention. There's a lot of paying attention to ourselves. It's quite fun and you'll learn a lot. Pay attention to also what other people thank you for. So are you good at explaining things? Are you extremely positive and encouraging? Are you a good teacher? Do you listen well? Might you have a knack for something, for creating things? I'm not sure. These are talents and abilities that you can that you can find and that can add up to combine with other skills that you have a natural tendency for. So a little attention goes a long way. And you can also these things can also guide you to finding different careers or hobbies that might be worth your time pursuing that you hadn't thought of before. Okay, so step 4, or it's tip 4, along with ways to think about how people thank you, you might also, this one's really funny, you might also think of ways that you annoy others, I think it is funny, as I said, and it's also very valuable, very valuable. Think about it. We all have that friend, a sibling, or a child that goes on and on about this or that topic. Clearly, there's a massive intrinsic interest there, right? And while interest isn't necessarily a talent, there is so much more potential. There's so much more potential in that passion. That's something that you are passionate about or willing to spend countless hours on, or it's possibly an avenue that you could think about you would want to pursue. So think about that, the things like that. Maybe someone else can help you pinpoint that. You could ask, like, what about me annoys you? This is a good example because I had a friend do this very thing. I had a friend that told me I was so positive it was annoying. And that was a little shocking at first, but that was very telling to me that I tended to find the positive. I found the possibilities in all things life, and I am good at that. I've always been pretty good at that, and I love that about myself, even though I think it's funny that I annoy people with it. So that is telling, and we can work with that. So go ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask those who know you best if they can pinpoint, again, something about your personality that that might drive them a little bit crazy. It's quite hilarious, actually. This can actually guide you to see more patterns in your personality. Check it out. Let me know how it goes. I do want to mention here that yes, talents and things that you enjoy can be very subjective, of course, and those things that you enjoy or even your talents may not end up being your profession or career that you pursue, but when you know your talents, you can better understand, process, and combine that which you are also passionate about and enjoy spending time on. And that is such an important element in creating a life that is fulfilling for you and that you feel alive in. I think it's so important to get back to that. So, finding our natural talents that we are good at can be rather complicated. I know that. It can take some work, intentional work, asking the questions, asking others, all these different tips, and much, much more that might work for you better than these. It took me decades to realize mine. And all that work led me to finding my purpose, which is coaching. And that was only when I finally took the time to do some intentional and other deep digging into what I am naturally strong at and inspired by. Now I know and I realize I am great at coaching, and I'm so happy and my life feels more fulfilled. And for you, you can find the same thing for you if that's where you're at, with a little more intentional work, as I know you are working hard already, and possibly having some guidance. You too can be more confident in your many talents that you already have as well. So also, this goes along with it, to go a little further with all of this. If you want to have be a part of a supportive community where you can explore your talents and learn more about your talents and curiosities, please join us over in Transitions Together on the Facebook group that I created just for this, diving deeper into these types of things. And just love and hugs and cheers to you, and good luck with all the possibilities in your future. I'm excited to hear about them. Cheers. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that video today, and if you did, go ahead and give a thumbs up. I would really love it. If you didn't, or if that didn't connect with you, please share what was it that was the disconnect, or however you felt about it, because I'm on this growth journey with you, as we're always trying to expand and grow and be at the next level of ourselves, and I'd really appreciate any feedback, so thank you for that. And also, if you want to be a part of this growth community, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And for now, I hope you're out there taking care of yourselves, and I'm sending you lots of love and hugs. We'll see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day. Cheers.